Hello, welcome to Tiny Automations. Today I'm going to show you how you can use Make as an API to access your Outlook calendar and have that dynamically input into Obsidian. I'll just go through quickly how this works. So in Obsidian here, I can run this templator action and it goes off and it gets my Outlook calendar events for today. So as you can see, I've got two events here that it's shown, the PE tech discussions and the automation discussions. I've got it set up to ignore this something repeated event and also these items that are repeated. I've got it set up to ignore those events. Let me add a new event and show you that it actually works. So let's just get rid of those here. So what would happen is you'd create your daily note and it would automatically populate these headings in your daily note so that you can add meeting notes, etc. There we go. So let's hit that again. As you can see, we've got a new event there, and then you can write all your notes required for these meetings. Now let me show you how to put that together. So the way this works is Obsidian talks to Make, and Make is an API. It's like the glue between Obsidian and Outlook, our calendar. So we'll have a quick look at the Make scenario that we're going to create. It's going to be 4 steps. A webhook. Now, a webhook allows you to access this scenario from a web call, and this is what Obsidian will be hitting, this web URL that's specified in here. The next step will go to your calendar. It'll get the relevant information for today, return that as JSON, and then return that to the call, which is then used within Obsidian. Okay, first step, let's show how to create a webhook. Click on webhooks, and it's a custom webhook. Let's create a new webhook. Let's call it Tiny Automations Outlook webhook. And you can put in extra security in here, like IP restrictions of what should you call it. Okay, so that creates a webhook and it gives us this unique URL. So let's copy that address to the clipboard and hit that URL. Okay, so that says successfully determined there, but we will actually be passing it in today's date. So we actually need to pass in a parameter for the day's events that we want to get. So we do this because we'll be using it in our Obsidian Daily Note. We can pass the actual file name, so the date in that format. It was this one. Let's redetermine the data structure. So on here, we'll add in a parameter called date, and we'll pass it in today's date. It says it's been accepted. Okay, so let's go back to the scenario, and it's been successfully determined. So that means we can use it in the steps that follow. Next node is going to be the Outlook node. So Microsoft 365 calendar, and we actually want to do an API call because it's slightly different to anything and slightly more complex than the basic ones listed here. I won't go into details about this. I will put it in the notes and in the blog post explaining this step. But what we do is we take in the date parameter that was passed in the previous webhook, and we use that to make the API call. Now this part here is just where I'm altering time zones to match my time zone because I'm actually in Australia. So you can do that for yours as well. But yeah, that passes in the date and it gets it from 00, which is 12 a.m. till 11:59 seconds. So basically all day, any events that happen within this day, return them to me. Okay, now that we've got the data returned from Microsoft 365, what we need to do is convert that to JSON so it's formatted correctly and we can consume it within Obsidian. So again, we want to add another module, JSON, and we want it transformed to JSON. And the object we want to transform is the body that gets returned from the previous step. The final step of this is to create a webhook response. And what this does is return the data. Status 200, and in the body we want that JSON string that was sent previously. Now when we save this and we go to run once, this will test the scenario. So the URL we previously hit, we can hit that. Boom. There we go. And it's returned. There's a lot of events here, but let's search for the one I added previously, which was called, let's just run it so I can remember. Brand new event that I cannot miss. So that should be returned in the JSON. There we go. So it's there. So we want to get that subject out and into our Obsidian Daily Note, and I'll show you how to do that in the next steps. Now to get the data from our Make API that we just created, we will be using a plugin in Obsidian called Templator, and this is the template. I will go quickly through this. I won't spend much time on it because I know it's boring just going through code. Now these are the ignored subjects I mentioned earlier. So anything that has a subject of these items won't display. Here's the actual call that we will be doing to our Make API. So that's the URL. And the data request parameter is the actual file name, because our Daily Note file is like a date. And then that just goes through, ignores the subjects, and it outputs it into Obsidian as a heading 3 markdown line of text. Now the template that I just shown you resides in a templator folder, and then if I run a templator command in Obsidian with that name, get calendar events templator, it goes off to the Make API, and then it populates with all of my events today that are not ignored. But if we want to display this each time the Daily Note gets created, we can add this code, tp.file.include, and then the name of the templator file that we just looked at. Doing this kind of thing though opens up Obsidian to a whole world of importing APIs or creating personal APIs for you, for your data, events, notes, etc., using Make or any other automated workflow platform that allows webhooks. Hope you enjoyed it. Like or subscribe. Cheers.